Kia ora and welcome back to the HRPI. I'm Marie Tovio, your trusted employment relations advisor and workplace investigator. Today's case is all about blurred boundaries, specifically when an employee's social media activity causes issues for your business. Social media is part of daily life, but what happens when an employee posts something offensive, inappropriate or damaging, especially if they're identifiable as part of your company or organisation? Let's start with the basics. Employees do have a right to freedom of expression under the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act, but that doesn't mean they're free from consequences if their actions breach your workplace policies or damage your business or organisation's reputation. One of the most common examples I see is where an employee makes negative comments about their manager, co-workers, or the company or organisation on Facebook or another platform. Even if their profile is private, screenshots can spread quickly. If they're identifiable as your employee, even just by friends and family, this can harm morale, reputation, and client trust. There are also risks around privacy breaches. For example, sharing photos or information about customers or co-workers without consent, or disclosing confidential business information, even unintentionally. So what can you do? First, you need a clear, up-to-date policy that addresses sharing information, including online. This should outline what's expected of employees both during and outside work hours, particularly if they reference their employer or others associated with the employer's operations. Include examples of unacceptable behaviour, such as hate speech, harassment, or sharing confidential material. Second, make sure staff are aware of the policy and receive training. Don't assume everyone knows where the line is. Use real-world examples and talk about grey areas, like using work email addresses for personal accounts or commenting on industry news while naming their employer. If a social media issue arises, respond quickly but fairly. Start by checking some initial information. What was posted? When? Who could see it? Is there clear evidence? If this suggests a potential serious breach, then arrange a formal meeting with them to give them a chance to explain, such as providing a letter to arrange a disciplinary investigation. If, on the other hand, your initial inquiry finds that the issue is minor, a conversation and clarifying the requirements may be enough. Either way, you have to ensure you follow a fair and correct process and keep records. I once worked with a company where a staff member had shared a joke meme on Instagram that referenced their workplace. They didn't name the company directly, but it was recognisable to clients and it had a racial undertone. The employer took the right steps, paused to assess the situation, gathered evidence, met with the employee, and ultimately, after due process, they issued a formal warning with clear expectations moving forward. They also updated their social media policy to make it clearer about similar risks in the future. So, what are the key takeaways? 1. Have a clear policy and provide training. 2. Gather facts before taking action and follow a fair and correct disciplinary process if it's considered appropriate in the circumstances. 3. Don't overreact, but don't ignore serious breaches either. 4. Use incidents as learning opportunities to strengthen your policies and culture, without breaching the privacy obligations to those involved. The information in this podcast is provided as a general overview of key employment topics and does not replace tailored advice. Every situation is different, and the appropriate steps can vary depending on the specific circumstances. If you're unsure about how to proceed in your workplace, I encourage you to seek advice and support. Feel free to get in touch with me directly. That's a wrap for today's episode of the HRPI. If you found this helpful, share it with a colleague or subscribe for more bite-sized insights. I'm Marie Tovio, and I'll see you next time. Mā te wā.